So today I wanted to talk about cold-wet stratification. In Florida, a lot of the milkweeds that are native to Florida that may not be native specifically to Broward County require cold-wet stratification in order for the seeds to begin to grow. So that's a process where we put them in the refrigerator, and what we've used is damp, wet coffee filters and some Ziplocs. So we'll look at that process now. So if you got just a regular old coffee filter there, and we put it on a plate and kind of flatten it out. And then we just take some water from the sink and begin to wet it there on the plate. And once it's wet, we make sure it's damp all around, as you can see here. And by keeping it over the sink, then we allow the excess water, because we don't want it completely soaked. We want the excess water to drip off back into the sink. And then we take some of our seeds, like these Asclepias viridis seeds, right? So they require this cold-wet stratification. So we take some of these milkweed seeds and we place them on it, and we try to make sure that they all have a little bit of their own space and aren't on top of each other. Then we fold the coffee filter in half over the top of them. That way it keeps them moist on both sides. Then we take that folded coffee filter and we put it in a Ziploc bag and seal the Ziploc bag. Then we want to make sure, well, we're reusing a bag there. We can see the date 1/5, so January 5th is the day that we do this, because these require 30-day stratification. After about 2 weeks, we've pulled them out just to see and make sure they haven't started sprouting in the fridge early. And taking a look here, we look good. None have sprouted, and there's no mold. And you can see the seeds here still in the wet filter, and everything is going well. So that we're halfway through that 30-day stratification. This week we're collecting sweet acacia seeds. The sweet acacia does have very sharp spines, so you need to be careful and plant it in a place where people aren't going to run into it. But the benefit is that these little yellow puffballs are the most heavenly scent, and they bloom several times a year. And it's an amazing species, great pollinator for bees. The seed pods, when they're green like this, aren't quite ready, but once they turn dark like this, they're ready to harvest and plant the seeds. And so we look forward to doing that this week in the garden. quick look at the milkweed. It continues to grow. It's more than a hand high. We had heavy rain last night, so some of it has been knocked down a bit. But this is the swamp milkweed, the Asclepias incarnata, and we have 70 or 80 pots of it, and it's all growing up, doing well. We've planted our first flats of Asclepias tuberosa too, just yesterday in fact, so they haven't even begun to come out, but we've got about 2 flats worth of the tuberosa, so we'll look forward to giving that away soon. This time we've also planted some world, that's W-H-O-R-L-E-D, world milkweed. And so we have some plants of that beginning to come up, and we'll see if we can bring it to mature size enough to give away. And our next round of swamp milkweed is just sprouting, has their first group of permanent leaves after their seed leaves just coming up, and so hopefully this will be another 100 plants of swamp milkweed we'll be able to give away a couple of months down the road.